Get started. Welcome everyone. Hello, wie geht's? Willkommen to our Oktoberfest inspired series cooking class. I'm so excited to have everybody here tonight. We are going to cook up an extraordinary German inspired storm for you tonight. So first, to kick us off, I would like to introduce Kylie, who is going to teach us how to make pretzels, because I'm sure that's something you would love to make. And after tonight, I would love to see your photos of when you do make them. So,
Hola, hola, hello. I'm going to totally mess up the chat in regards to saying the wrong welcome, but I am going to take you through pretzels. My name's Kylie. I have been a Thermomix owner for over 11 years, and that is because my son was 6 months old when I got my first Thermomix, and the first time I ever saw or heard about a Thermomix over in Adelaide, and because he consumed all the food that came out of that Thermomix demonstration I went to, it was like a wow moment for me, and I had to have a Thermomix in my household. And to do that, I became a consultant. So I actually have never had to purchase a Thermomix because I have started out consulting. I took a bit of a break, and then I've come back this year in February and earned my TM7 that we were all enjoying at the
Bachelor.
moment. Um,
Bachelor.
I am going to just take you down here to the TM7 and lower my body at the same time. I have prepared pretzels in our weekly calendar. So you can see the recipe here is on the screen. So I'm just going to press that, go into our pretzel recipe and just hit start. Now, I have done a few things to get us, I guess, a little bit further along in the process. So I've already lightly greased a bowl in oil and set that aside. And I did use, I'm going to bring it over right now, I used my beautiful Thermomix bowl that I earned as a consultant. So you see, and they come in a 3 set. They're also available in the mix shop. And as you can see, I've got my dough already proofing and it smells amazing, very delicious. You've probably all seen how to make dough, but if you haven't, we put full cream milk, 400 grams in, and then we put in the yeast. There's 2 teaspoons there. We hit next, and there's 2 minutes that we have got in our I guess our daily routine. 2 minutes set aside. I went off today and I put my chickens away while this was going, and then I've got that's activated the yeast and woken it up, especially if it's been in the fridge, if that's where you keep your yeast. That heat that is provided there by the Thermomix is just going to wake that up. I've then put in my baker's flour, so that's 600 grams. And we're putting the baker's flour in first. If you come across a recipe where you've already put in yeast and then you have to put salt in as well, you want to make sure that you're putting something on top of your yeast, like flour or whatever else is the dry ingredient, because the salt will kill your yeast. So really important, if you're following a recipe and salt comes before those other dry ingredients and goes on top of your yeast, it will kill it. So make sure that you've got your baker's flour in before putting in your 2 teaspoons of salt. Now, my daughter has given me feedback about these pretzels because I made them for the first time yesterday to make sure I was, up to speed with able to present this to you tonight. So first time ever, and
das
my daughter's
ist
feedback.
sehr gut, Kylie. Sehr gut.
Easy. I'll share some photos of them because they're really delicious. Even my work colleagues love them today. And my daughter said the dough was not salty enough. So if you would like to put in a little bit more salt for yourself, that is okay. Like I said, you don't want to go overboard with the salt because it will kill your yeast. Then we're going into a knead mode. I would knead this twice just to give it a little bit more of that softness that you get. But if you're finding that you're already getting that softness, that is fine as well. We're then going to transfer, once the knead is done, into that bowl that has been lightly oiled. And you're going to set that aside and let that proof, covered with either a tea towel, or if you host a demonstration, which I was lucky enough to do as well, you can get these beautiful thermomats. They're available as a host reward whenever you do a demonstration with Thermomix. So get in contact with your consultant if you would like to find out more about those thermomats. They're really great for baking and doing any kind of doughs, or if you're doing any kind of cutting, or if you're doing cakes. So the new ones also have diameters on them too, so keep that in mind as a host reward if you're interested. So that has been placed in the bowl for 45 minutes, which is the next step. And then we're going to clean and dry our bowl. So I think that is all from me. So what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to tip this out now that the dough has been proofed. So it's risen, it's more than double the size that it was when it went into the bowl. And I'm going to separate that into 10 portions. You can weigh the dough and then you get a really accurate amount for those 10 portions. And once I've done that, I'm going to hand over to Claire, and you'll come back to me and you'll see how we go through rolling out those pretzels.
And maybe make
with our pretzels. So I'm going to get Claire now to make some sauerkraut. What kind of German cooking class would it be without sauerkraut? Welcome, Claire. Thank
Hi,
you
everyone.
for teaching us this very important skill.
Very excited to show you guys sauerkraut. And I know Sally did this a couple of classes ago. I'm using the cutter method tonight. So for those of you who had a go from when Sally made it and used the traditional cutting with the blades, I'm going to show you the cutter. Now, I'm using the TM6 because we don't actually have the TM7 cutters yet. However, Megs, I think, might have something to share with you guys.
Well, look, Claire, I'm so glad that you mentioned it, because at the moment, if you want to be as cool as us and come and join the Thermomix team, when you make your first sale, we will actually give you the Cutter Plus, which is super brand new and awesome. It goes in the TM7 and it is like the Cutter and some. That's why they called it the Cutter Plus. So that's why we thought it would be super cool, if you didn't know that already, to let you know that actually you can get your very own Cutter Plus.
That is right. And so we haven't got ours yet either. I think we'll all be getting them at the same time. And for those who don't know me, I'm one of the leaders in Thermomix, and I live in Canberra, and I've been doing this for about 13 years. And I started out by earning my Thermomix because at that point in time, TM31 days, I didn't have enough money to buy one. And I probably would have taken a bit long to get my husband to go, oh yeah, sure, you can go and spend $2,000 on a kitchen appliance you've just seen. So I signed up to earn it.
And Claire, how many Thermomixes did you have to sell?
So back then I sold 6 Thermomixes in 60 days.
6 Thermomixes in 60 days. That's quite a lot. What if we had a special opportunity right now?
I just reckon there's something pretty cool on the table that's a no-brainer, given what I had to do 13 years ago. Are you going to share it, Megs, or do you want me to share it?
Tell everyone how exciting it is. You can actually earn your very own TM7 in 4 sales. You can't hear me.
Just a bit quiet. You can't like really in the background there, Megs.
What if I told you all that was no? Claire, you should tell people.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to head into getting my cutter going, and then when you've got that, Megs, I'd love you to share that amazing, awesome information.
All right. I want everyone to know that you can earn your very own TM7. See that super smooth, sexy black TM7 sitting there on the bench? You can earn that in 4 sales, and we'll give you 90 days to do that. And you'll be super supported by an amazing team leader and an incredible team. And there's so much training and support to encourage you to be able to get your own TM7. That is just the most incredible offer, and it's available until the 31st of October. So if you have a little inkling of maybe I could do that, or maybe I just want to know a little bit more, let me know, send me a message, and I'll let you know the next steps and what we can do to support you, and just even fill you in so that you've got all the information.
And it's also a no deposit. So just going back to my story, I had to come up with $1,000 deposit to be able to earn my Thermomix.
Yeah.
Which I had to borrow from my mother-in-law at the time because, like I said, I couldn't afford a Thermomix. So yeah, I'm super excited for this offer for you guys. So if anyone's sitting there going, I would love one of those, and I've only got a 6 or a 5 or a 31, now's your opportunity. So what I'm going to do is show you the cutter. Now the cutter plus that goes in the 7 when we get it also has the spiralizer attachment included in it. So with the 6, we've got them separate. With the 7, it comes all in one. Now I've basically, if you're going to use your spiralizer, your cutter for cabbage, it's really important to cut it up in a way that allows for the longest shredding. And so I'll cut the cabbage into half, and then I'll cut it down from the round edge. I'll cut it acrossways. And so then I work out where the grains are. So what you want to have is the long pieces that go down so it can cut beautifully through. You don't want it to be laying like that into the cutter because then it's going to cut big fat chunks. So you want it nice and fine. And so I just sort of break up my cabbage into chunks, and then I thread it into it where the long bits are facing up. And each piece will look a little bit different. So you'll get different ways that, like the inside, you'll have to cut it opposite to the edges. I know it's very hard to explain, but you'll get it when you do it. So I've done, what I've got here is I'm just following the recipe that Meg shared into the chat, and I'm going to thread it into my cutter. Oh, let me just move this a little bit closer. So I'm going to thread it into the fat section of the hole there with the...
Is it the feeder? Do we call it a feeder?
Yeah, it's a feeder. Thank you. Yeah. All right, and then I am going to turn my dial. So it's doing thin slicing. It's already preset for me because it's guided cooking. And I just help.
Hey, 26 people watching this.
Now I'm going to stop between each one.
4 or 5 of them doing the demonstration.
Add my next one and go again. And because I want it to look beautiful, I'm going to stop between each section. If you're doing something like potatoes, that doesn't matter. You can just keep threading through as it's going. So I have already done half of my cabbage.
Das ist sehr gut.
All right. I'm going to stop that there. I've only got a few left in the bowl. Now this does a full kilo of cabbage. So what you can see is, here's my beautiful sliced cabbage. Look at that.
Oh, it takes so long to do by hand.
Yes, absolutely. So look, this is what I've already got. And that was just done in, under a minute, all of that. Okay, so the next part, so I'm just going to, and the good news thing I love about the cutter is my bowl stays clean. And so you've got the cutter, but then my bowl's clean.
And that was a very swift move. Did you see that Claire removed the shaft from the bowl? That's a very important step. If anyone's using the cutter, please remove the shaft. Very important.
All right, so the next thing I do with my sauerkraut is, this is a really, I was going to do some purple. Oh, I'll do that later. Just for a little bit of color diversity. So you can use about 3 teaspoons of sea salt, and then all I do is massage that in. So just let me wash my hands again.
Always important to wash your hands, everybody. I love that when you're a consultant, you learn about prepping. That's such an amazing skill. So see how she already had that measured, ready to go straight in the bowl. And the cabbage is there. And also with our Thermomix, we can always, add in a little bit of purple cabbage to give it that variety too. Claire, what are you doing now? Tell us.
I'm literally just massaging the salt into the cabbage and releasing the moisture from the cabbage. So I'm just squashing and squeezing and kneading it around. And you do need to do this for a little bit of time till you start to release the liquid. It also helps the salt go through, which is going to help preserve it. And this is literally all it is. I don't add any other ingredients.
Is it therapeutic? Feeling that massage like a textural thing on your fingers?
Yeah, you know what? Look, I've heard this kind of thing is therapeutic, so let's go with it's therapeutic. But it's definitely, when you cook cabbage on the stove and it softens really quickly, like you can already start to see it getting a little bit soft and limp. So you don't have to do this for very long. I'm just going to stop there for the sake of time and show you my jars.
Ooh.
Okay, so you want to use sterilized jars. Now, what I've done is I've used my Varoma to sterilize. So on the TM7, something I really love about the 7, probably one of my favorite modes, except for browning, is, you can't really see, is you've got a steaming mode, and that just presets my Thermomix to steam for 10 minutes, and I can add or detract time. So I put my jars in, upside down with the lids upside down and steam it for like 10 minutes or something. And so then take them out, sit them up, and they're sterilized. So that's how I sterilize. If I've got a large jar, which is also what I'm going to use tonight, I would put that in without the lid on and sit that upside down. All right.
We actually have some very cool jars in the mix shop, which I'll drop in the chat as well.
Yeah, amazing. So these are our brand new product, so very, very new, that you actually can get as hosts. So this is one of our host awards at the moment in our spring fling catalog. I've only got the 300 ml sizes, but they come in 4 different sizes. So they've got a really large one that would be perfect for your sauerkraut. They come with spare little lids, so spare little inserts, and then you've also got the lid to go on top. Now, the way that they work is you have a vacuum sealer for the jars. So once you fill them, you can actually vacuum seal all of the air out, and to help preserve, to help there's no oxidization, and it's just a great way of preserving really effectively, like, your old Fowler Vacola things that you boil up on the stove to help them pop. Well, this is the quick fast track way of doing that. So you put your little round lid on top once you've got your ingredients in there. You put your vacuum seal jar wand on, so it's just sealed in like that, and then you press the button and it will stop automatically once it's released all of the air from inside. And then I just take that off. And so then what I've got is, I can't get that off easily. I'm sure I could if I popped it really hard, because how else am I going to get it off? And then you just screw this on and you've got your sealed jar. So pretty amazing. Like I said, they're going to be available in the mix shop. I'm not sure if they're available yet.
Yeah, they are.
Oh, they are?
Yep.
Awesome. And if you don't want to spend the money, host a demo, because you can get them for a really amazing price by hosting. Whether someone purchases or doesn't purchase, you can still get them. Cool. So I'm going to continue with my sauerkraut. When we show at the end, I can show you a couple of end results, Megs.
Beautiful. Thanks, Claire. Kylie, I'm going to come back to you.
Great. Yes, I've got my oven going at 200 degrees. So moving through that recipe, I've lined my baking trays. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do those divides, which I have. You can see I've got them already lined up over there into 10 pieces. And then we're going to go through the steps of shaping them. What I've also done to prep as well is I've started boiling 800 grams of water on the stove. It might be something that we'd be able to do in the Thermomix, but I'm going to use this Thermomix shortly to show you a dip that we're going to have with the cheese. So I've decided to do the saucepan on the stove, and I'll show you what we do next to cook our pretzels once we've got them together. So I'm just going to walk around this way so you can have a look. I might not get through all of them, but what I did yesterday was is start at the top and just let your dough hang down at the bottom there, and I just slowly move my hands across the dough. And what we want to get is about a 60 centimeter, and that is where our thermomats also come in handy, because they have measurements along the edges that help us with these sort of things. So we're just rolling it out, letting gravity help us as well. And if you've got a little bit more thickness in the middle, just give it a bit more time there. You'll probably feel that this dough is just beautiful and soft. Okay, so we've got a shape that's all about that size. I've almost got it to the end of the mat here, which is 60 centimeters. It will move a little bit, so I just want to make sure that it's not too thin at certain places. Okay, so I'm going to now take this around to my tray. And how we do the shaping, I just want to make sure you can see my trays over there. Okay, we're going to make a U shape. So the U is pointing towards myself. And I'm just going to cross over and then do another little twist. And we have that pretzel shape there. Now you can put a little bit of water there, or you can just rest your pretzel ends on the side. So hopefully I can lift that up and show you. So you've got a nice little pretzel shape there. So I'll just do a couple more here, and then we'll move over to the boiling water. But if you're following along and you're doing this at the same time, your dough is probably proofing at the moment, because if you had got started at the same time as me, you won't be up to this stage. I'll just do one more here, just using gravity.
You could do those on the mat too, right? Like roll them out as a sausage.
I just found it easier to use gravity to help you with that roll. You can do that, start in the middle and move your fingers and slightly move it up. That's got us to 60 centimeters. Maybe one more time, just because it will come back in. All right. Like I said, I've done this once and I'm still learning, which I love. That's the best part about Thermomix as well, is I'm always doing something new. Actually, so inspired by this pretzel making that I'm going to try bagels on the weekend. My favorite bagels are blueberry bagels. And sometimes my cafe just does not have the blueberry bagels. So I'm going to give bagels a try this weekend and see how we go, like with the boiled water. It was really such an inspiration last night making these pretzels that I thought I'll just have to give bagels a go now. I've had a Thermomix for 11 years and I've never tried bagels. What's going on? It's one of my favorite foods. So that's what we'll do. Okay, so I'm just going to do this. Maybe I'll just do this last one and then we'll move on to the boiling part. I'll show you.
Right, Luke, I'm going to come to you shortly.
Okay, let's just do this last one, and I'll just quickly show you that twist again. I was just putting the U down towards yourself, crossing over once, twice, and resting those ends, forming that pretzel shape. Okay, so coming across to, I'm just going to bring you with me over here to the stove. Okay, we've got the pot there. You can see boiling away. I'm just going to, just in case, might be a bit too warm. Might need to just top that up a bit. Now we're going to put in 3 tablespoons of bicarb soda. Sorry. So bicarb soda, I've got my measuring spoons here, which is also available on the mix shop. Really beautiful rose gold color. Now this goes directly in there. You'll start hearing the fizzing and the popping. It's pretty fun. Okay. There we go. That is fizzing and popping away in there. I'm just going to bring my pretzels over. Thanks. And I've just got, these take 10 seconds, like 10 seconds in the water, guys. So don't walk away. Okay, so I'm just going to pop that in, 10 seconds.
Can anyone count to 10 in German? I can only count to 3.
Yes, mine's fine.
Drei. Angelica, you can help me. 5, 5.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Super.
Genau.
I have another question for you too, Angelica. I'm very glad you're here.
Okay.
All right. So it's just puffed up a little bit, which is perfect. And we're just placing them straight back onto the baking tray, ready to go into the oven.
Beautiful.
And while that is just cooking in the water there, I've got some salt and black sesame seeds mixed in to my jar here, and I just sprinkle a little bit over the pretzels while it's still a little bit damp. You can put on just salt, you can put on white sesame seeds, you can put on cinnamon if you wanted. There's so many different flavors that you can put on your pretzels, cheese if you wanted to. So just start thinking about, oh, what do I like on my pretzels? My daughter is all about the salt, so I did get a bit of the, one of those black things on there, but once she ate it with all the salt on there, it wasn't a problem. Okay. And I'm just going to pop in that last one, and I'll hand back over to you. Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you. That's amazing. And I think Kylie's going to pop them in the oven. So when we see Kylie again, we should have some baked pretzels.
Amazing and so easy. So easy.
So cool. Das ist sehr gut. Okay, Luke, we're going to come over to you now. Thank you, Kylie. What are you making for us tonight? You're just on mute. I'm just going to ask you to unmute.
Unmuted. Thank you.
Fabulous.
So I'm making the pork tenderloin section of this recipe with the mash being handled by yourself. But I have already chopped onion. Yeah, I looked into the bowl last night and it was a bit teary. But step 3 is scrape down the sides. It's already starting to hurt my eyes. Do that from a distance. And next, bacon cubes. Almost had it prepared. So 100 grams. One has 105%, so it won't auto do it. But that's right. 3 minutes. Saute. Yeah, I've had a Thermomix for nearly 12 months, I suppose, and just loved it. First day I got it, unwrapped it, unboxed it, cooked up a feast, and just haven't stopped using it for cooking great food. And I started just talking about it to everyone and saying how good it was. And then my consultant just said, "Why don't you become a consultant?" And here I am. So that was about February, I think I started.
Yeah,
So,
that's amazing.
yeah.
Great.
Um,
Now, so you've got onions in there and you've got bacon. So you're using the high heat mode, which is one of the super cool functions that's available with the TM7. And can you all see that the color is changed? And the little smiley face now is red. You can see it shining on the bowl, which is one of the cool little features that the TM7 makes available as well.
yeah.
And I think this is really an exceptional dish and we wanted to show you. So I popped the link in the chat. So I hope you're following along with the chat. So this is the pork tenderloin with sauerkraut, which we saw Claire do the sauerkraut, and potato puree. We're not going to have time for potato tonight because we've got lots happening, but really a beautiful dish. And I think tonight's menu is brought to you by Bavaria.
It's should have probably done this before, but I've got more time than I had last night.
So you're salting the pork loin?
Oh, yep. So seasoning is salt, half teaspoon of salt, quarter teaspoon of ground pepper, and 1.5 teaspoons of paprika. Okay,
great.
Wrapped in bacon.
Oh my goodness, my mouth is watering.
It's really nice.
Oh, and I see you've got your new TM7 spatula there on its standing up. That's pretty cool.
Yep. Hasn't got any really liquid on it yet, so it can't dribble down to the handle.
So with the new spatula, you can lay it on its side. It's got a little stand built in, and you can also stand it up like that. And then in the end, there is also a dough flicker. So it helps us, like Kylie made her dough before to make the pretzels, and you can actually pop it on the end and give it a little twist, and that helps get the dough off the blades, which is super cool. So now Luke is wrapping that pork loin in bacon.
Not quite sure the best way to do this, but I figured if I just put it like that and fold it underneath, the end it'll work out all right. Or longer bits of bacon.
Yeah, seems good. And what's super great about this dish is we're using layered cooking. So this is going to be cooking in the Varoma, which we'll be able to see in just a minute. And one of the cool things with the TM7 is the size of the Varoma and the shape. It's bigger, and the shape is also, we'll see it in just a second.
So, so
So what I might do, Luke, I'm just going to pop and see Louise briefly, and we'll see what Louise is up to, and we'll come back to you, and you can show us the next steps.
excellent.
Okay, Louise.
Hi. Hi, everybody. My name's Louise. I've been a consultant for just over 12 months now. And I just can't turn my machine on because it just turned off.
What's in front of you? Why are you turning the machine on?
These are my they're the German Christmas cookies from Cookie Do. They were really lovely to make. I've never made them before. And they really nice. They're gluten-free as well, just so happens. And easy to make. And they look pretty, don't they?
Is that the Pfeffernüsse?
No, it's called German Christmas cookie, Christmas star cookies.
Perfect.
They've got almonds, which you turn to almond meal, sugar, honey, egg whites. That's vanilla, I think, and that's it. But today we're going to make the Black Forest cake, which is also on Cookie Do. It's in the Oktoberfest collection.
I'll pop it in the
And there's quite a few steps to it. You've got your cherries are your first step. So we soak the cherries. They're to be soaked for 2 hours. So your first step on here is to place your cherries. And then they said to use a cherry liqueur, but I couldn't quite find any. I did find a berry liqueur, and also it's like a cherry brandy. But I'm going to use brandy for this one, just plain old brandy. We'll see how that goes. But you don't have to use alcohol either. You can just use the syrup from the jar of cherries. It says frozen, but it also says in the tips that you can use a jar of cherries. So that's what I've done. So they soak for 2 hours, and then you cook them in your Thermomix you make the syrup with that. So will we make the syrup? I will show you how we do that. So you have, hang on. You put your cherries in a bowl, and then you weigh 80 grams of your brandy in there.
Now notice how careful Louise is at not leaning the bowl, or not leaning the bottle on the bowl, because that messes up our scales.
It does. And then, which I thought was maybe confusing, the next step is to hold on. It says insert simmer basket, which is this thing. Now they want you to place the cherries in there and allow the liquid to drain out. So then you press next, and it says remove the simmer basket with the spatula. It's not hot, but it's easy to do with this, so you can lift it out quite easily. And we'll just set that aside for a moment. So now we make the syrup in here. So you have 1 tablespoon of white sugar. $50 grams of water.
One of my favorite things is the green zone. So if you get it bang on or no more than 10% above the measurement required, it will actually tick itself off. So you get in the green zone and it ticks itself off. It's very satisfying.
It is. And that syrup takes 23 minutes to cook.
Well, good thing we came to you, because now I'm going to buzz back to Luke. Are you ready, Luke? We've got 23
Okay.
minutes before that syrup is ready. And then are you going to be layering the cake and showing us the next step, Louise?
Yes, I can. The
Yeah,
next step
beautiful.
that you make now is you put that aside, and you cool it off, and then you make your cake, and then you pop it in the oven. So I
Yeah.
can show you how we make the cake, but I have already.
Yes,
Okay.
here's one I prepared earlier. It's one of our favorite sayings
Yeah.
as Thermomix
It
consultants.
is.
So we've got some cooking time. I'm going to go back to Luke and see his
Yeah.
next steps, and I'll come back, Louise.
Sure. But I will, yes, okay, lovely.
Anything else you want to tell me?
No. But I'll finish cooking this later, and then I'll clean it up, and then I can display the cake cooking.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, great.
Okay.
All right. Okay, Luke, what's happening over where you are?
So I've just cooked the sauerkraut that I made. I didn't make. It's in the thing. So it was after bacon cubes and sauteed, wrapped in, add sauerkraut, maple and juniper berries. Put them on juniper berries. So they got left out. And cooked for 3 minutes, which has been done.
Yep.
So now we're looking at the mixture, which needs to be drained through the varoma dish, retaining the liquid.
Key step there, everyone, retain your liquid.
I do like this spatula because it's got a lot longer blade, so you can get a lot smoother. I'm sort of one of these people that has to like clean the whole bowl almost before I. But, sorry, my wife's laughing. But so we go back there. It doesn't matter. Here's something I learned. If you press and hold on the bowl, it'll you want to cook the recipe from
Yeah, that's a really great feature. That's so cool, right? Because it's connected. We get updates and new things appear. So you can actually select a different step in a recipe and fast forward to that step.
I know. I remember last cooking class. I think Claire said it couldn't be done on the 7, but
No, I know. They just keep making improvements. That's what we love. All right, Luke, we're running out of time. What happens next? Because I need to go back to Kylie. She's going to do a quick dip. I just wanted everyone to see the layered cooking. Are you up to that yet? Or why don't I come back to you after I quickly flip to Kylie?
Fully ready. Yep.
All right, Kylie, let's see the dip very quickly.
Yes, so it is, what's it called?
Actually, this is where I need Angelica to help me.
Oh, but Angelica, over to you.
What do I need to do?
Can you pronounce the cheese spread that we are about to make?
Obatza, is it Obatza?
Yeah, Obatza, I think. Obatsten or something like that. Yeah.
Obatza. Das is Obatza.
Yeah.
Obatza. All right. Well, spring onions. We've got 30 grams going in. We're placing that straight in. And going to our next, it's going to chop for 30 seconds.
Do you mind just tilting the camera down a little bit so we can see the screen too? Cool. Yep. Have we popped those pretzels in the oven yet, or have you already got some in there?
I've got some in the oven. Yes.
So cool.
They only take 12 to 13 minutes to bake, so
I did not know that.
they're like I told you, it's so quick and easy. Those pretzels, amazing. Okay, so I'm just scraping down the sides. I do like to take my Thermomix out of the cradle. It's just old habits from the TM6, and it just makes me feel a little bit more secure. So we got next is going the camembert. There are tips on this where you can scrape down what's the outside?
The rind. You
The
just scrape the rind
rind.
off. Yeah.
There we go. We scrape off the rind. And we've got ricotta to go in as well. I'm leaning over the Thermomix here, which is not what I would usually do. So that is 150 grams going in there. I haven't made the green zone, Megs.
Oh no, I measured it.
Hang on. Little bit more, get to the green zone. Come on, you measured this out. I know you
I did.
All right, we're in the green zone.
Yes, green zone.
And
Just tilt it down so
we
we can see. We just missed it on the camera.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yep. Tick, it's green zone.
Ah, so good.
All right. So we've also prepared all our spices, which is caraway seeds, sweet paprika, salt, and ground black pepper. That's all going into the Thermomix. You can't really see me. I've got to like do squats here so you guys can see me. So I'm just going to tick, 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 all those and go to our next 20 seconds. And this has got to be the quickest and easiest dip. When you think about going to the shop and having to pick out everything, this literally has taken us less than a minute to make. Amazing.
One of the benefits of being a consultant when it's all prepped, ready to go.
Yeah, absolutely. The best way and to cook. But you know, if you've got it already, you've had it in your shopping list, you know, you're all prepared for the week.
Beautiful.
And all you've got now is this beautiful cheese. I'm just going to give it another scrape down. And I love this step as well. So you can go back to that step. And we're going to set it as the current step. Now, if you weren't satisfied with the chopping that's happened in the Thermomix, there is a repeat button, which, you know, I've missed because I skipped ahead. So I'm just going to scrape that down again. I just want this a little bit smoother.
The very German tip I'm going to share with people from this recipe is that you can add a dash of beer or wine at step 2 to taste. And also you can substitute the ricotta for quark. And we even have a recipe in Cookie Doo for quark. So served with pretzels, bagels, or toast.
Nice.
And yeah, if you get a higher fat content camembert, it'll produce a smoother consistency. I'm excited.
Okay, so here's a tip. If I just put this down a bit, you can see there's the repeat button there. So if you're not satisfied with what the Thermomix has chopped up in 20 seconds, you can do another 20 seconds, which is what I have done there. And we've got our beautiful cheese dip to go with our pretzels.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So we're putting on the bowl. We're going to pop some chives on top. Luke,
Yeah,
I'm
we're
coming
going to
back to
finish
you.
with a beautiful bit of chives to garnish.
Beautiful.
Thanks, Luke. See you soon.
Thanks, Kylie. Luke, I'm back.
Hello.
Oh, look
Okay.
what you've done.
I have sauerkraut with the
Pork loin.
tenderloin with yep,
Great. And that's going on top of the,
potatoes.
yep. So they're cooking at the same time. How cool is this?
And then that goes lid on. Next, place wrap tenderloin and sauerkraut and press play and wait for 35 minutes. Last 10 minutes.
So how long is that cooking for?
35 minutes.
35 minutes. Okay, great.
And in the last 10 minutes, you fry up a bit of fried onion.
All right, Louise, well done, Luke. That's amazing. We love layered cooking. So we're going to have some beautiful mash, that bacon wrapped tenderloin and some sauerkraut. Amazing. I'm now going to go to Louise and we're going to see our Black Forest cake, and then I'm going to get everybody to show us everything they've prepared, and we're going to take a photo.
Not quite ready for that yet.
And I just
Pardon?
wanted to say something as well about mine.
Oh, Claire, I can't see you. I forgot about you entirely. Let me find Claire. I lost her. Oh dear.
She's just a branch.
Oh, found her.
That's
All
okay.
right. We'll come to Claire and then I'll come to you, Louise.
Oh, you're not quite ready. Okay.
All right, we'll better go to Claire then.
Okay, cool. So I basically, it creates a lot of liquid. So you need it until the liquid starts to come. You put a couple of tablespoons in, push it down, give it a little bit more of a knead, add a couple more tablespoons, give it a bit more of a knead. What you do need to know though, if you're using these jars, don't seal them with the sealer. You need a little bit of oxygen for certain types of bacteria. So the sealing of these jars is not recommended for the fermentation. And then you want to burp them every day. So if you don't have an actual actual fermentation jar, which I do, I have this one, but I don't quite have enough cabbage in it for it to be successful. So I'm going to have to get some more cabbage and finish that. And what you're looking for is, so this actually sits into the jar and it pushes down the cabbage and it has little holes so the liquid can come through. So what you want to be able to do is put a weight in so that the cabbage is under the liquid. You don't want any cabbage above the liquid. And so I'll find a little something to put into this jar. Yeah, so if you're using a jar, just every couple of days, unscrew it, give it a little burp, let the carbon dioxide out. So Megs is really looking forward to making sauerkraut.
I did not know any of this. I didn't. Thank goodness we have Claire to teach us about burping cabbage, everybody, because I would have let you go into your lives without knowing that. But thank goodness Claire has let us.
And let me just show you guys how much liquid there is. So if you've got a muddler, our mix shop has a wooden muddler, which you can also use for cocktails. But you can see here just how much liquid there is in this jar of the cabbage liquid. So if you had it pressed down, it would be underneath that, and then it would be fine to ferment for the week. So yeah, 1 week, that's all. You only have to burp it for a week, Megs.
Claire, I can't keep a tomato plant alive. You have to know I was a terrible cook, and I've been thinking about how many jars I now have on my windowsill and how many spices I have in my drawer, but I've not yet summoned up the courage to make my own sauerkraut. But soon.
Megs did call on me tonight. She's like, I just would like not to make the sauerkraut for this class. So yeah, if anyone can volunteer.
This is why. Look, I could have followed the instructions, but I don't think they had anything there about burping. So thank goodness for Claire. Amazing. Thank you so much, Claire. We're just coming to closing minutes. Louise, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Woohoo!
Can you see?
Oh, wrong person. Look, I've lost you. Oh dear. Well, you start talking and I'll find you.
Okay, I've got the chocolate going on the top of the cake now. So the instructions in the cookie dough are very simple to make. And you put the cherries, you put the cream, you put the cake, you cut it into 3 layers. It all looks lovely.
Holy dooly, that's incredible.
And you're meant to put some cherries on top. I haven't quite got to do that yet, but anyway. And I'll cut it. You're meant to sit it for an hour.
You can't cut it.
Yes, you can cut it.
That's so beautiful.
It looks better when you cut it. But it's meant to sit for an hour before you cut it. So
luckily we can bend time in cooking classes. That's another gift that we have as consultants.
So no, we don't have time, but it would have looked better if we sat it, if we,
it looks amazing.
Because it sets a bit, so you can cut it and it doesn't sort of fall apart on you then.
So I'll be at your house in an hour, is that right?
Yeah, okay.
We're coming over.
Okay.
That looks incredible, Louise.
Yeah, it was fun to make. It was lovely to make.
You put the cake and then the cream, and you put cherries and then the cream.
And you put the cherries in the middle, yes, with the and that's got the liqueur, and you make a syrup.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow, incredible.
Oh.
Beautiful, Louise.
Thanks.
Kylie, do you have your pretzels and dip ready to show us?
Yes, I do. Take a look at these guys. Incredible and super duper tasty. Can you see that? Hopefully.
No, I've lost you too. There's-
What?
I don't know.
I'm right here. I'm right here, Megs. Look, I'm right here.
Oh, I found you. They put you at the end. That's so weird. Louise, stay there by a beautiful cake.
I have dip. I have pretzel.
Oh,
So
wow.
amazing and
That looks
delicious.
amazing. Let me add Luke in. Luke, have you got something you prepared earlier? One of our favorite lines as consultants.
Yes, I do.
Fantastic. And then Claire, I'm going to add you in as well.
So this mash is so creamy, just beautiful, and so easy. You don't have to sit there with the masher and do it. And sauerkraut.
Beautiful. Okay, Kylie, can you hold up yours and I'm going to get a little photo of everybody?
Again, okay.
Great. All
Do I
together.
need to be in here?
Yeah, beautiful. Big smiles.
Hang on, let me come around.
Okay.
That's better. Yay.
Oh, I just lost my my ability to do that now. Hang on.
I'm smiling.
Big smiles. Beautiful. Ta-da! Well done, everybody. And that is a wrap from us tonight. What an incredible effort. There's our little class picture to see all of our dishes. And I would just like to say on behalf of our Pinnacle branch and especially on behalf of my beautiful team, Brenda, Bella, Emeralds, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We hope we have inspired you, that you'll make some pretzels, make a Black Forest cake, discover the joys of burping sauerkraut and wrapping pork loin in bacon and using the Laid cooking to make that pork loin and that beautiful mashed potato. So thank you so much for joining us. We do have an in-person class coming at the end of the month in Chisholm in the South Side, and we have another class in November in Western Creek. And if you're not already subscribed to our page, we can add that in the chat as well. So if you haven't seen the chat, please click on some of those links so you can save those recipes in CookieDoo, in your own CookieDoo. And I would like to also share our recipe from tonight. I don't know if you'll be able to open it on your computer. It's better when you open up a collection on your phone. So maybe just save the link and send it to yourself somehow.
Yeah.
But that is, I'm 1 minute early. Does anyone have any questions?
No.
All right, well, that's a wrap. Thanks,
How did
everyone.
we go, Angelica? Like German food wise?
Vielen Dank.
Vielen Dank.
Ja.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Tschüss.
Should turn my music back on. Where did my music go?